Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speak English podcast. If you're new here, I'm so happy you're joining us today. We upload a new English listening lesson every single day to help you improve your English naturally and confidently. In today's episode, you don't need a notebook, a pen, or grammar books. Just relax, wear your headphones if you have them, and simply listen. This lesson is designed to help you improve your English speaking by listening to clear, natural English. As you listen, your brain will begin to recognize common words, sentence patterns, and everyday expressions automatically. Today's lesson focuses on listening. First, because listening is the foundation of speaking fluently. The more you hear natural English, the easier it becomes to understand and speak without translating every sentence in your mind. During this lesson, you'll hear useful vocabulary, natural conversations, and everyday expressions that native speakers use. Try to listen carefully, repeat the sentences if you can, and enjoy the learning process. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Just keep listening and let your brain absorb the language naturally. If you practice listening every day, even for just 1 hour, you'll notice that speaking English becomes easier, faster, and more natural. Little by little, your confidence will grow, and you'll begin thinking in English without realizing it. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new English listening lesson. Now find a comfortable place. Relax, listen carefully, and let's start improving your English together. Let's begin with something very important. Many English learners think they need to study grammar for hours before they can speak fluently, but that's not true. The first step to speaking English naturally is learning to listen carefully. When you listen every day, your brain begins to recognize words, sentence patterns, and natural pronunciation without much effort. So in today's lesson, don't worry about memorizing grammar rules or writing notes. Just relax and listen. The more you listen, the more familiar English will become, and speaking will start to feel easier and more natural. Now let's do a simple listening exercise together. I'll say a sentence slowly. Your job is to listen carefully. If you'd like, you can repeat after me. I wake up early every morning. Let's hear it again. I wake up early every morning. Now listen at a more natural speed. I wake up early every morning. Did you notice how the words connect smoothly? Native speakers don't usually pronounce every word separately. They connect words together, and that's why listening practice is so important. Let's try another sentence. I'm getting ready for work. Again. I'm getting ready for work. Now listen one more time at a natural speed. I'm getting ready for work. Excellent. Keep listening carefully. Don't worry if you miss a few words. Your ears are learning, and every time you listen, your understanding becomes stronger. The secret is simple. Listen every day. Listen with attention. Notice the pronunciation, the rhythm, the stress, and the way sentences flow together. Over time, your brain will naturally remember these patterns, and you'll begin using them when you speak. So keep your headphones on, relax, and continue listening. Every minute of focused listening is helping you become a more confident English speaker. Now let's continue listening together. Listen carefully to this sentence. Could you help me, please? Listen again. Could you help me, please? Now listen at a natural speed. Could you help me, please? Great. Don't worry if you can't repeat every sentence perfectly. Right now, your main job is to listen carefully and let your ears become familiar with natural English. As you continue listening, pay attention to how the words connect, where the speaker pauses, and how the voice rises and falls. These small details make English sound natural, and your brain will begin to copy them automatically over time. Now listen to another sentence. I'm going to the store to buy some bread. Once again. I'm going to the store to buy some bread. And now at a natural speed. I'm going to the store to buy some bread. Excellent. Keep listening without pressure. The more English you hear, the more natural it will feel. Here's a simple challenge. For the next hour, try to keep English around you. Listen to this lesson while you're walking, relaxing, cooking, or traveling. You don't need to stop what you're doing. Just keep listening and let your brain absorb the language naturally. Don't worry about understanding every single word. Focus on the overall meaning, the pronunciation, and the rhythm. Every time you listen, your brain becomes stronger at recognizing English automatically. Remember, fluency doesn't come from studying all day. It comes from listening consistently and exposing yourself to real English every day. Now let's finish this section with a short conversation. Just listen carefully and enjoy the natural flow. Hi, how are you today? I'm doing well, thank you. And you? I'm great. Thanks for asking. Listen again and notice how smooth and connected the conversation sounds. The more you listen to conversations like this, the more confident you'll become when it's your turn to speak.
Listening to short, natural conversations like these is one of the best ways to improve your English. The more often you hear everyday expressions, the more familiar they become. And one day you'll start using them naturally without even thinking about them. Now, let's continue with more real-life English. This time, don't try to memorize anything. Just listen carefully and pay attention to how the sentences sound. Listen to this sentence. Could you tell me how to get there? Let's hear it again. Could you tell me how to get there? Now listen at a natural speed. Could you tell me how to get there? Excellent. Now listen to another common expression. I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? Let's hear it one more time. I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? These are everyday expressions that native speakers use all the time. By hearing them again and again, your brain begins to remember them naturally. This is why regular listening is so powerful. Now imagine you're waiting at a bus stop. Close your eyes if you like and simply listen. There's a blue bus coming down the street. It's stopping to pick up passengers. People are getting on and off quickly. As you listen, try to picture the scene in your mind. Connecting English with real-life images helps you understand and remember the language much more easily. Keep listening without pressure. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Every sentence you hear is helping your brain become more familiar with natural English pronunciation, rhythm, and sentence patterns. Just relax, enjoy the lesson, and let English become a natural part of your everyday life.
Description exercise together. I'll describe something and you repeat. Imagine you're in your kitchen. There's a kettle on the stove. The water inside is boiling. Steam is rising from the spout. I can hear the sound of bubbles. Now think of your own kitchen. Look around and describe 3 objects you see. You can say there is, or I see, or I'm looking at. Speak them out loud if you can. Another way to speed up your fluency in 30 days is to connect new vocabulary with something personal. This way you'll remember it faster and use it more often. For example, if you learn the word delighted, don't just think of the dictionary, meaning connect it to a memory. Maybe the time you received a surprise gift. You could say, I was delighted when I opened the package and saw the book I'd been wanting for months. Personal connections make words stick in your long-term memory. Now let's practice combining old words with new ones. Suppose you already know the word happy and you learn the word thrilled. You can practice by saying, I was happy to see my friend. And then I was thrilled to see my friend. Feel how the emotion changes. When you do this kind of variation practice every day, your vocabulary grows naturally and you start using richer, more expressive English. One of the most effective habits to adopt right now is speaking for 1 full minute without stopping. It doesn't matter what the topic is. The goal is to keep going even if you make small mistakes. For example, pick a topic like my favorite food and talk about it for 60 seconds. You might say, my favorite food is pasta. I like it because it's warm, filling, and you can add so many different sauces. Now, let's continue listening to a longer example. As you listen, don't worry about remembering every word. Just relax and focus on the meaning and the natural rhythm of the speaker. My favorite sauce is tomato with fresh herbs. I remember when I was a child, my mother used to make pasta every Sunday. Listen again and imagine the scene in your mind. Visualizing what you hear helps your brain understand and remember English more naturally. Now let's listen to another real-life story. The last time I went shopping was last Saturday. I visited a nearby supermarket, bought some fresh fruit, vegetables, and a few snacks. It was a relaxing trip, and I enjoyed walking around the store. Listen one more time. Notice how the ideas connect smoothly from one sentence to the next. The more stories you listen to, the easier it becomes to understand natural English conversations. You don't need to memorize every sentence. Simply listening every day helps your brain recognize common vocabulary and sentence patterns automatically. Remember, becoming fluent is a journey, not something that happens overnight. Every minute you spend listening to English is helping you improve your pronunciation, vocabulary, and confidence. Now let's pay attention to another important part of natural English: connecting words. Listen carefully. I enjoy reading because it helps me relax. Notice how the word because connects the two ideas naturally. Here's another example. I was tired, so I went to bed early. Listen again and notice the word so. Small connecting words like because, so, and but, and actually make English sound smooth and natural. As you continue listening to English every day, you'll begin to hear these patterns again and again. Over time, you'll start using them naturally, in your own conversations, without even thinking about them. So keep listening, stay relaxed, and enjoy the process. Every lesson brings you one step closer to speaking English fluently. Let's continue with another listening practice. As always, just relax and focus on understanding the message. There's no need to memorize every word. Listen carefully. Even though I was tired, I kept working. Let's hear it again. Even though I was tired, I kept working. Notice how the speaker connects two ideas naturally. Expressions like even though, because, so, and but are very common in everyday English. The more you hear them, the more natural they will sound. Now listen to another example. I need to buy milk, and after that, I want to visit my friend. Once again, I need to buy milk, and after that, I want to visit my friend. These simple connectors help conversations flow smoothly. By listening to them regularly, your brain begins to recognize natural sentence patterns automatically. Now let's pay attention to the speaker's voice. Listen to this sentence. That's a great idea. Did you notice the excitement in the voice? English is not only about words. It's also about rhythm, stress, and emotion. The way someone says a sentence can completely change its meaning. Now listen to another sentence. I'm so happy to see you. Pay attention to the warm and friendly tone. As you continue listening to English every day, you'll naturally become more familiar with these speaking patterns. Sometimes you may hear a word you don't know. That's completely normal. Don't stop the audio or become frustrated. Keep listening and try to understand the meaning from the rest of the sentence. This is how children learn their first language, and it's one of the most effective ways to improve your English naturally. Every minute you spend listening is training your ears to understand real English more quickly. So stay relaxed, enjoy the lesson, and keep listening. Little by little, you'll notice that English becomes easier to understand, and speaking will begin to feel more natural. Let's continue with another listening activity. Just listen carefully and enjoy the natural flow of English. Listen to this sentence. It's a small case where I keep my money in cards. Let's hear it again. It's a small case where I keep my money in cards. Sometimes you may not know every English word, and that's perfectly okay. As you keep listening, you'll learn to understand ideas from the context. Little by little, your vocabulary will grow naturally. Now let's move on to some everyday questions. Just listen and think about your own answer in your mind. What's your favorite drink? Take a moment to think about your answer. Now listen to another question. Where did you last go on holiday? Think about your answer while listening. Here's one more. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? These are common questions you'll hear in everyday English conversations. The more often you listen to them, the more familiar they become, and one day you'll answer them naturally without hesitation. Remember, every conversation you listen to is helping your English improve. Whether you're listening at home, while walking, traveling, or relaxing, every minute of English exposure is valuable. Now let's talk about a powerful learning habit. Choose one simple topic each day and listen to English about that topic. For example, if today's topic is travel, listen to conversations about airports, hotels, vacations, and transportation. Tomorrow you might choose food, shopping, work, or daily routines. Listening to the same topic from different situations helps your brain recognize useful vocabulary and common sentence patterns much faster. Keep listening every day with patience and consistency. You don't need to study for hours. Simply make English a part of your daily life, and you'll be surprised by how much you understand and how naturally your speaking skills begin to grow. Listen carefully. This morning I went to the market because I wanted to buy some fresh fruit. The air was cool and the smell of ripe strawberries filled the market. I bought sweet mangoes, bananas, and a basket of fresh strawberries. Let's hear it again. Notice how the speaker adds small details. These details make the story more interesting and help you become familiar with natural English expressions. Now listen to another example. This morning I went for a peaceful walk around my neighborhood. The weather was beautiful, the birds were singing, and the colorful flowers made me feel calm and happy. As you listen, try to picture the scene in your mind. Visualizing what you hear makes English easier to understand and remember. Every time you listen to real stories, your brain learns new vocabulary, sentence patterns, and natural pronunciation without the need to study grammar rules. Don't worry if you can't understand everything today. Improvement happens little by little. One day you'll notice that you understand a sentence without translating it. Another day you'll realize that you recognize words you couldn't understand before. These small improvements are signs that your English is growing naturally. Now let's continue training your listening skills with another short passage. Listen to the speaker's voice. Pay attention to the rhythm, pronunciation, and emotion in each sentence. The more often you hear natural English, the easier it becomes to recognize these patterns automatically. Keep listening with patience and consistency. Every lesson helps your ears become stronger. Your understanding becomes faster, and speaking English will begin to feel more natural over time. Listen to these short reaction phrases. Really? That's interesting. I see what you mean. Exactly. Let's hear them one more time. These are very common expressions in everyday conversations. The more often you hear them, the more naturally you'll recognize them when other people speak. Now listen to a short conversation. I just learned how to cook pasta. Really? That's great. Notice how the second speaker responds naturally and keeps the conversation going. Now listen to another example. I had a tough day at work. It sounds like your day was really stressful. Here's one more. The movie was good. I really enjoyed it. It was very entertaining. As you listen, notice that people often express the same idea in different ways. Hearing different expressions helps you understand more English without needing to memorize every sentence. Now listen to another example. I like this cafe because the atmosphere is peaceful and the coffee always tastes fresh. Pay attention to how the speaker explains the reason. Giving simple reasons makes conversations sound more natural and meaningful. Finally, let's listen to a few examples about different times. Yesterday, I visited my grandparents. Today, I'm listening to an English lesson. Tomorrow, I'm going to practice English again. Listening to sentences about the past, present, and future helps your brain become familiar with different sentence patterns naturally. Keep listening every day, stay relaxed, and trust the process. The more English you hear, the easier it becomes to understand, and before long, you'll notice yourself thinking and speaking more naturally. Listen to these 3 examples. Yesterday, I went to the park and met an old friend. I'm sitting at my desk right now listening to music. Tomorrow, I'm going to visit my cousin in another city. Let's hear them again. Notice how the speaker talks about the past, the present, and the future. By listening to different time expressions, your brain naturally becomes familiar with how English changes in different situations. Now listen to another example. Last night, I cooked dinner for my family. Right now, I'm cooking dinner. Tomorrow evening, I'm going to cook dinner again. These simple examples help you hear how English is used in everyday life. Now listen to a longer answer. Yes, I enjoy reading because it helps me relax, learn new ideas, and improve my vocabulary. Notice how the speaker adds a reason and extra details. Longer answers sound more natural and make conversations more interesting. Here are a few common questions. Just listen and think about your own answer. Do you enjoy cooking? Have you ever traveled abroad? What kind of music do you like? Don't worry if you can't answer immediately. Simply listening to these questions again and again helps you become more comfortable with everyday English. Sometimes Even native speakers make small mistakes and correct themselves while talking. That's a normal part of communication. So don't be afraid if you don't understand everything perfectly. Every time you listen, your ears become stronger, your vocabulary grows, and English starts to feel more natural. Keep listening every day with patience and confidence. Step by step, you'll notice that understanding English becomes easier, and speaking will come more naturally. Listen to this short story. This afternoon, I went to the park. The sun was shining brightly, the birds were singing, and a gentle breeze made the weather feel wonderful. I sat on the grass for a while and enjoyed the peaceful atmosphere. Let's hear it one more time. As you listen, imagine yourself in the park. Visualizing the story helps you understand English more naturally and remember new expressions more easily. Now listen to another example. I'm walking down the street. The weather is warm today, and I can smell fresh bread coming from the bakery on the corner. People are smiling and everything feels calm and relaxing. Notice how the speaker describes simple everyday moments. Listening to descriptions like these helps your brain become familiar with natural English sentence patterns. Now listen to another short passage. After I finish this lesson, I'm going to call my friend. Then I'll buy some vegetables for dinner. Before lunch, I need to check my emails. These are everyday thoughts that native speakers often express. The more you hear them, the more natural they become. Now listen to another example. I enjoy learning English because it opens new opportunities and helps me communicate with people from around the world. Here's one more. I love listening to English every day because each lesson helps me understand more than the day before. Notice how the speaker adds simple details to explain each idea. This makes English sound smooth, natural, and easy to follow. Keep listening with patience and consistency. Every story, every conversation, and every sentence you hear is helping your brain recognize English more quickly. Little by little, you'll find yourself understanding more, thinking in English more naturally, and becoming a more confident English speaker. Listen to this example. I like coffee because it helps me wake up in the morning. I also enjoy the rich aroma that fills the kitchen while it's brewing. Let's hear it again. I like coffee because it helps me wake up in the morning. I also enjoy the rich aroma that fills the kitchen while it's brewing. Now listen to another example. I enjoy music because it helps me relax after a busy day. It reminds me of happy memories and always improves my mood. Notice how the speaker adds simple details. These extra details make English sound more natural, interesting, and expressive. Now listen to some common expressions that native speakers use every day. Well, I think we should start now. You know, that movie was better than I expected. Actually, I've never tried that before. Let's hear them one more time. These small expressions are very common in everyday conversations. As you continue listening, your brain will naturally recognize when and how they are used. Now listen to another short passage. Today was a busy day, but I still found time to relax and listen to English. It made me feel calm and helped me learn something new. Notice how the speaker uses both short and longer sentences. This natural variety makes conversations easier to follow and more enjoyable to listen to. Keep listening every day without pressure. The more natural English you hear, the more familiar sentence patterns, pronunciation, and rhythm will become. Over time, you'll understand English more easily. Think more naturally and speak with greater confidence. Listen to this example. I love traveling because it gives me the chance to explore new cultures, meet interesting people, and try delicious foods from around the world. Let's hear it again. I love traveling because it gives me the chance to explore new cultures, meet interesting people, and try delicious foods from around the world. Notice how the speaker adds details to make the sentence more interesting and natural. Now listen to another real-life conversation. Good evening. I'd like to order the grilled chicken with vegetables, please. Certainly. Would you like anything to drink? Yes, I'll have a glass of water, thank you. These are common expressions you'll hear in restaurants. The more often you listen to everyday conversations like this, the more familiar they become. Now let's listen to another situation. Good morning. May I have your passport, please? Yes, here it is. Would you like a window seat or an aisle seat? I'd like a window seat, please. Imagine yourself at the airport while listening. Visualizing the conversation helps your brain connect English with real-life situations. Now listen to one more conversation. I went to the beach last weekend. That sounds wonderful. What was your favorite part of the trip? Notice how the second speaker keeps the conversation going by showing interest. Listening to natural conversations like these helps you understand how English flows in everyday life. Keep listening every day with patience and consistency. Every conversation you hear improves your understanding, strengthens your vocabulary, and brings you closer to speaking English naturally and confidently. Listen to this short conversation. I went to the beach last weekend. Oh, really? Which beach did you visit? It was a beautiful beach near the coast. That sounds wonderful. Was the weather nice? Yes, it was warm and sunny all day. Listen again and notice how the speakers keep the conversation going naturally by asking simple questions. Now listen to another conversation. I bought a new phone yesterday. That's great. What kind of phone did you buy? Why did you choose that one? These are common follow-up questions that you'll hear in everyday English conversations. Now pay attention to the rhythm of this sentence. I'm going to the store to buy some milk. Listen once more and notice how some words are naturally emphasized while others are softer. This rhythm is one of the things that makes English sound smooth and natural. Here's another example. She's working on a big project at the office. Again, notice the natural stress and flow of the sentence. Finally, listen to this polite expression. That's a good question. Let me think for a moment. And another one, well, I think that's a great idea. These expressions are very common in real conversations. The more often you hear them, the more naturally you'll understand them and recognize them when other people speak. Keep listening every day with patience and consistency. Every conversation you hear is helping your brain become more familiar with natural English, bringing you one step closer to understanding and speaking with confidence. Listen to this sentence. I can't believe it's already Friday. Let's hear it again. I can't believe it's already Friday. Now listen to another one. That sounds amazing. And another. I didn't expect that at all. One more. I'm so excited for tomorrow. Notice how the speaker's voice changes to express surprise, happiness, and excitement. As you listen to natural English every day, you'll begin to recognize these emotions through tone and rhythm. Now listen to two different styles of speaking. Informal conversation. Hey, what's up? Not much. How about you? Now listen to a more formal conversation. Good morning. How are you today? I'm doing very well, thank you. How about you? Both styles are common in English. By listening to different situations, you'll naturally become familiar with when people use formal or informal language. Here's another example. I'm going to grab a coffee. And now another way to express the same idea. I'm going to get a coffee. Finally, listen to these two expressions. Want to hang out later? Would you like to meet later? Notice that both sentences have a similar meaning, but they sound different depending on the situation. Keep listening every day without pressure. The more natural English you hear, the easier it becomes to understand different speaking styles, recognize emotions in conversation, and build confidence in your English journey. Every lesson brings you one step closer to speaking naturally and fluently. Listen to this example. I like living here because the weather is pleasant. There are many beautiful parks, and the people are friendly. Let's hear it again. I like living here because the weather is pleasant. There are many beautiful parks, and the people are friendly. Now listen to another example. I usually spend my weekends reading books, going for long walks, and meeting my friends for coffee. Notice how the speaker gives more than one detail. Listening to longer answers helps your brain become familiar with natural English conversations. Now pay close attention to these common English words. Think, thought, through. Let's hear them once more. Now listen to another group. This, that, these. Notice the pronunciation and the smooth rhythm of each word. Even if you don't understand every sound perfectly today, regular listening will help your ears become more familiar with natural English pronunciation. Now listen to a useful everyday expression. I've been meaning to try that. Let's hear it again. I've been meaning to try that. This is a common phrase that native speakers often use in everyday conversations. The more you hear expressions like this, the more naturally you'll recognize and understand them. Keep listening every day with patience and consistency. Every sentence you hear improves your listening skills, expands your vocabulary, and helps you become more comfortable with real English conversations. Little by little, you'll notice that understanding English becomes easier and speaking starts to feel more natural. Listen to this short passage. Eating fresh fruits and vegetables every day gives your body energy, helps you stay healthy, and supports a balanced lifestyle. Drinking plenty of water is also an important part of staying healthy. Let's hear it again. As you listen, focus on the meaning and imagine the ideas in your mind. This makes English easier to understand and remember. Now listen to another short story. This morning, I woke up early, made breakfast, and went for a walk in the park. In the afternoon, I worked on a project and talked with a friend. In the evening, I relaxed by reading a book before dinner. Notice how the speaker talks naturally about different parts of the day. Listening to daily routines helps you become familiar with common vocabulary and sentence patterns. Now listen to another example. I think reading books is a wonderful habit because it helps us learn new ideas, improve our vocabulary, and relax after a busy day. Here's another opinion. Some people enjoy spending time on social media, while others prefer reading books. Both can be enjoyable, but many people believe that books help improve concentration and imagination. Notice how the speaker explains different points of view in a calm and natural way. Finally, listen to this simple process. First, I boil some water in a kettle. Then I put a tea bag into a cup and pour the hot water over it. After a few minutes, I remove the tea bag and enjoy a warm cup of tea. Listening to simple step-by-step explanations like these helps you understand how English is used in everyday life. First, I put a tea bag into a cup. Then, I pour hot water into the cup and let the tea steep for a few minutes. After that, I remove the tea bag, and if I like, I add a little sugar or milk. Let's hear it one more time. Notice how the speaker explains each step clearly and naturally. Listening to everyday processes helps you understand how English is used in real life. Now listen to another short passage. Many people learn English for different reasons. Some want better job opportunities. Others want to travel, study abroad, or communicate with people from different countries. Whatever your reason is, listening to English every day is a simple way to improve. Now imagine this scene while you listen. A family is enjoying a picnic in a beautiful park. The parents are sitting on a blanket, smiling and talking together. Their children are playing happily with a colorful ball nearby. The sun is shining, birds are singing, and the trees are gently moving in the wind. Can you picture the scene in your mind? Visualizing what you hear helps you understand English more naturally. Now listen to another story. Perhaps this family is celebrating a special day together. They have brought homemade sandwiches, fresh fruit, and cold drinks. Everyone looks happy, relaxed, and grateful to spend time together. Listening to stories like these helps you become familiar with descriptive English and everyday vocabulary. Life in the city is fast and busy. The streets are crowded, the traffic is heavy, and people are always in a hurry. Now listen to another description. Life in the countryside is peaceful and quiet. You can hear birds singing, enjoy fresh air, and spend more time in nature. Listen again and notice how the speaker compares two different places using simple, natural English. Now listen to this short conversation. I'm going to the store to buy some vegetables. Do you need anything? Yes, could you please buy some tomatoes and a loaf of bread? These are common expressions that people use in everyday life. The more often you hear conversations like these, the more familiar they become. Now listen to another example. Yesterday I visited my grandparents. We had lunch together, talked for a long time, and enjoyed a wonderful afternoon. Notice how the speaker tells a simple story using clear and natural English. Finally, listen to these everyday questions. What is your favorite food? What do you enjoy doing in your free time? Where would you like to travel in the future? As you continue listening to questions like these, you'll become more comfortable understanding real conversations. My favorite food is pasta because it's delicious, easy to prepare, and I can make it in many different ways. Let's hear it again. My favorite food is pasta because it's delicious, easy to prepare, and I can make it in many different ways. Now listen to another example. On weekends, I usually wake up a little later, go for a relaxing walk, and spend time with my friends at a cafe. And here's one more. I would love to visit Japan because of its beautiful culture, delicious food, and amazing scenery. Notice how the speaker explains each idea naturally by adding simple details. Now listen to a short story. Yesterday afternoon, I went to the park to meet a friend. We hadn't seen each other for several months, so we spent hours talking, laughing, and enjoying the beautiful weather together. Imagine the scene while you listen. Visualizing stories helps your brain understand English more naturally. Now listen to another description. I'm sitting at my desk with a warm cup of tea beside me. Outside the window, I can hear birds singing and a gentle breeze moving through the trees. Everything feels calm and peaceful. Notice how the speaker describes the surroundings using simple but natural English. Finally, listen to this closing message. The best way to improve your English is to make listening a daily habit. Every story you hear, every conversation you follow, and every lesson you enjoy helps your brain become more familiar with natural English. Stay consistent, enjoy the journey, and little by little you'll understand more. Think more naturally and speak with greater confidence. As we come to the end of today's lesson, remember that improving your English doesn't happen overnight. It happens one listening session at a time. Every minute you spend listening helps your brain become more familiar with natural English. Keep listening every day, even if it's only for a short time. Whether you're walking, relaxing, traveling, or doing household chores, let English become part of your daily routine. Little by little, you'll notice that understanding becomes easier. New words sound familiar, and speaking begins to feel more natural. Don't worry if you don't understand everything today. That's completely normal. Every time you listen, you're making progress, even when you don't realize it. Trust the process, stay patient, and keep enjoying the journey. If you enjoyed today's lesson and would like more easy English listening practice, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. We upload new English listening lessons regularly to help you improve naturally through daily exposure to real English. Thank you so much for listening with me today. I truly appreciate you spending your time learning English together with us. Take care, keep listening, keep believing in yourself, and I'll see you in the next English listening lesson. Have a wonderful day and happy learning.